sanglier's silly stuff. Okay, so as you probably figured out from the title, this is not to be taken seriously. For risks and side effects, consult your pharmacist, your psychiatrist, or your milkman. Okay, this is about the story behind the sanglier nickname. And it's all Tony Lou's 100's fault. You know, he kept bothering me and buggering me and pestering me on the Rachybop channels, which I will link in the description. And he just kept nagging, and so I finally had to give in. Okay, so what is the name? As I already said on the channels, sanglier is the French word for wild boar. And as Tony Lewis already suspected, well, there are some people who have been raised by wolves, you know, like Romulus and Remulus. There are other people that unfortunately you meet like every day or so that have been raised in a barn, and I have been raised none of these two ways. I've been raised in the woods by wild boar. And here you can see the proof. This is the wild boar family, with me in the middle, and then the father and the mother and my brothers and sisters. Yeah. And then well, they found me and raised me, and nobody knows how I got there, but well, we don't know. But then apparently I finally made my way back to the human beings, because otherwise I wouldn't be posting all these comments. And well, if you want to get the basic story behind it, you can read it up in a book. You know, there's this Rudyard guy, Rudyard Kipling. He wrote a book about me and my story. It was called The French Forest Book. And of course, you know, he is British, and you know, between British and the French, it's not really a good liaison all the time, so he got some things confused a bit there. Like he didn't know how to spell sanglier, and so he changed the name to Mowgli. And well, yeah, but the story, it's not 100% accurate, but I think you get the general idea anyway. And of course, they made a movie out of the book, and then there's this famous song. And actually, I suggest that you should now put on your hearing protection for your own safety. Okay, so the song, the famous song, you all know it probably. Look for the boar necessities, the wild boar necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Yeah, the boar necessities. That's why sanglier can rest at ease with just the boar necessities of life. The oaks are growing like a tree to shed some acorns lost just for me. And if you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy truffles, then maybe try a few. The boar necessities of life will come to you. Oink, 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 oink. They'll come to you. Oink, 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 oink. Okay. Alright, so you can take your hearing protection back off. And yeah, the song is nice, but it would have been even better if they had kept to they tried to make a play with the words of the original, the expression bare necessities, and of course with the boar it's like, well, yeah, you know, it would have been better if I had been raised by a family of like grizzly bears, then they could have made bare necessities out of it, you know, bare as in the naked necessities, and the bare necessities, you know, what a grizzly bear needs. But well, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it. That is the story behind the sanglier nickname. Or is it? Nyeh, 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 nyeh. Well, actually, what's his face? Tony Louis Lane 100 also figured out that sanglier can also be read as sang a liar, as in liar, liar, pants on fire. And so maybe this was not the true story after all. So, okay, so I'll give you another version. Okay, let's see, where do we have it? Okay, there is a company who makes wines, the sanglier wines. You know, I hope you can you see that? They have the wild boar head there. Adjust the camera a bit. Okay, hope you can see it. And well, of course, I have been on the internet and on the newsnet before I went onto YouTube, you know. And these people, they must have read some of the postings that I did, and they contacted me and they said, "Hey, bloke, those postings that you make, you know, who could stand to read them when he's sober? You know, people need to get slightly, well, not booze, but, you know, relax the mind a little bit with a little bit of alcohol in order to be able to stand to read all this crazy stuff that you're writing here. And what could be better for that than our quality wines, you know, the sanglier wines?" And so they said, okay, can you see the logo there? Okay, all right. And so they, as I said, they contacted me, and they offered me a deal. And they said, okay, if you register on YouTube and you use our company name as your nickname, and thus you automatically promote us with every with every single post you make, we will just pay all the YouTube fees for you. You know, the application fee and everything. And that was an offer I couldn't decline. And I took it. And it was a really good deal, because when I registered my account with YouTube, I didn't have to pay one single penny. You know, the Sanglier Wines company, they paid it all for me. And I know you guys just envious, and I mean, I don't like to boast, you know, but it's just that I have no clue about business at all. But I'm just so happy that I had this, that I managed to make this great deal, this good deal for me, you know. And I can just see you guys out there sitting and thinking, oh man, I wish I was him. I wish I was him. And yeah, so that's the second story about how I got the name. But of course, as you can figure, this is not all. There is still another side to the story. And the problem is that sometimes people respond to my comments, and then when I read the response, then I run the danger of accidentally reading my own posts again. And of course I cannot bear